Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Smith. It's Friday, Paraskevia, and today is our fourth tutorial on basic arithmetic in Georgian, gaq'opa. Gaq'opa is finally division, and as this isn't technically so difficult in Georgian, actually, after the ones we've already studied, we're going to be looking at a song by this guy, Merab Sepashvili. Pretty old school, but his song, Guli Gaq'opa, talks about an undivisible heart. And the lyrics are kind of fun to play around with so that we can nail this concept with something a little bit light-hearted. So, if you're ready, let's go. Let's begin with my Instagram poster, and at the top, gaq'opa. Gaq'opa is the process mathematically of dividing. And like I said in the introduction, we're going to be dividing this class because after we finish with the mathematics element, we're going to be looking at division from a more poetic, emotional sense. That will come later, but let's look really here. 100 divided by 20 equals 5. Asi gaq'opili. Otse tolia chutis. Asi 100. Gaq'opili divided by otze, which is here our division, 20. Tolia chutis. One thing you must notice, this symbol here. Georgians use a colon where we would use a division symbol. We use the colon in English mostly for ratio and also for giving scale on maps. So just be aware that we're going to be looking at that. Also, there's going to be a synonym of gaq'opili, which is the one that involves the verb as let's divide, which is gavqot. Quite a short version. We're going to see it spelled later on, but gavqot, gaq'opili achieved the same result. Slide 1, and as we can see, all of our opening numbers are in the nominative case, which is different from some of the other equations that we've done in other videos. So, nominative 100, just as you find it in the dictionary, asi gaq'opili otse. The number that we're dividing 100 by, divided by, is of course showing a dative relationship, and it takes ze as an ending to show that we've opened the question that way. Asi gaq'opili otse. Tolia chutis. 100 divided by 20, setting up the question, and the relationship with the starting number and the dividing number equals 5. Here we've got another equation. 2000 divided by 100 equals 20. Ori atasi gaq'opeli ase aris otsi. Here our verb, of course, can be used in the short form. Ori atasi gaq'opili ase otsia. Otsia is 20. Here we've got a dative outcome. So atasi, which is 1000 divided by 500. So atasi gaq'opili chutase udris ors. Paying attention to chuti is 5. Chutasi 500. So atasi gaq'opeli chutase udris ors. We're switching out gaq'opeli with gavqot, which is sort of midashen, ertad, chwen, gavqot. We're doing this together, live. So, ori atasi gavqot ase 2000 divided by 100 aris otsi is 20. Otsia, if you don't want to use the word aris before. The next one is 1000 divided by 100 is 100. Atasi gavqot ase udris as. What I like about that equation is it's showing us that the asi being in the nominative, the pudze, the root is as. So asi is nominative, asze dative, as also dative ending, showing us that both of these are dative endings. So, atasi gavqot ase udris as. The third one uses tolia, and I wanted to use a multiple of 100 just to show us even more technical ability. So, samiatasi, nominative, both have nominative endings. Gavqot chutas ze, not chutasi, because again the I is removed and tolia exis. Samiatasi gavqot khutase tolia exis. Slide 3, and as you can see, no more mathematic acrobatics. Now the acrobatics are linguistic. We're going to take the verb of today, gaq'opa, and the active verb use, gaq'opili, and look at it from one perspective. These are the lyrics to a song that's all about an intact heart. And take a look at this image here. Sometimes we think that when the heart is shared or divided, which is the link, then it's a good thing. But what if you don't think like that, and that there's division everywhere, and that you truly fear that your heart won't be shared, but it'll be consumed as soon as it's divided? So you're going to ask God to have an unbreakable, indivisible, intact heart forever. And that's kind of what this song is about. Now, of course, I put a link in so you can listen to this song and listen to the lyrics and go along with the flow. But of course, we're just going to study some of the pieces to that song. So let's start with the concept. Gaq'opeli, right? The name of the song. Guli gaq'opeli, indivisible. Now, in another context, we've got gaq'opeli or jachi, which talks about a family that gets along well. They are intact. They are undivided. There is no division within the family. Gaq'opeli or jachi. Contrast that with gaq'opili, gaq'opili or jachi, which is an already divided family with conflict in that family. So we used gaq'opili as a way to divide numbers. And so in this second example, it's the adjective describing that the family do not get along well. So both of the words describe the intact nature and then the divided nature. Now, the third example is perhaps deeper, even further, with the added N here. Gamok'leba. Gamok'leba means that it's an integral part to something. It's the yin and the yang. It's impossible to divide. And so, Sekvdili is death. Sekvdili tzchovrebis gamok'leba natzilia. Sekvdili tzchovrebis, death is of life, gamok'leba natzilia, an integral part. It is hard-coded, I wrote here, into life. It cannot be divided. If you live, you die. But if you love, do you have to suffer? If you love, does your heart have to break? If you love, does your heart need to be shared? Well, that's up to the song, isn't it? But here we've got actually, I suppose, the chorus to this song, where he says to God, Gmerto, Gada mirchine, save it, save this, as in saving my life. You know, you're making a kind of prayer. Guli gaq'opeli. God, save my unbreakable, intact, indivisible heart. My understanding from this is that this person is singing because they believe that their heart is at some point in the near future at risk of breaking and doesn't want it to happen. So it's that pressure of love that might show the cracks in this previously gaq'opeli, intact, unbreakable heart. Slide 4 doesn't resolve the issue if gaq'opeli guli or gaq'opeli guli is good or bad, but it does reveal a little bit more of the artistry of the song. And in the first line, gaq'opeli guli dakarbuli siqvaruli tsmena dakarguli. In the first line, gaq'opeli gaq'opa gaq'opeli guli talks about divided devotion, divided loyalty. Now, we looked at this, guli, of course, gaq'opa, guli, devoted and loyal, guli, adjective, disloyal. And so, gaq'opa is a wordplay gaq'opeli gaq'opa, obviously suggesting here that loyalty is inherently open to divide. Obviously, logically, gaq'opeli guli, we've discussed this enough. But daq'arguli sikvaruli, now daq'arguli describes lost. Obviously, again, another wordplay with guli. Daq'arguli sikvaruli, lost love. Yeah, we can understand that. It's part and parcel of the life experience. It's hard-coded as if it were death. Rtsmena is faith. So, daq'arguli rtsmena. Yep. Lost faith makes sense. Again, guli, 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 guli. It's a Georgian song. Gaq'opeli tsa damitsa. Sky and earth. Earth and sky. It can also sometimes mean heaven and earth. But I think this actually means that it's naturally divided. We see it as a whole, but it's naturally divided. Gaq'opeli tzkaro, the source of a river, the source of water, naturally divides. As it proceeds, it naturally divides. And so I think the gaq'opeli gaq'opa, gaq'opeli tzadamitza, gaq'opeli tzkaro. Indeed, the song extends to megobroba, which is friendship, and tzmoba, which means brotherhood. It just goes to show that all these things on their own, we idealize that they're intact. But life itself forces us to accept that they aren't that way, that living means division of these concepts. And I suppose in this perfect world that this singer simply wants that if he can protect one thing that is gaq'opeli, then at least let it be his heart. That's the last slide of today and the end of our arithmetic journey. So what are we going to be doing next? Well, this. We're going to be looking at this selection of spices which I got as a gift, and we're going to be explaining what each one is for. So not only naming the spices, the suneli, but also what they might be for. And this gives us a real opportunity into exploring an element of the natisa obiti brunva, the genitive case, using tvis. Now, tvis, chem tvis, shen tvis, really talks about what it's for. So we're going to be exploring that aspect next week. Have a nice weekend and I'll see you then. Bye.